There is a really challenging verse in the Sermon on the Mount, and I was serving God happily, and I thought I was managing my money correctly for God. But one day I read this verse, and then the doubt starting to creep into my mind if I'm still okay with God. So that verse is Matthew chapter 6:24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. So the mammon is talking about the money. So when I read this verse, I began to wonder, so if I really hate the money, so when I look back at myself, I don't really crave money that much, but the truth is I don't really hate money either, because to live you need money in this society. So to do anything you need money, unless you leave the society and live in the mountain and do everything yourself. So I began to wonder if I'm okay with God, because I don't hate the money as this verse was talking about. So for several days I was worried and began to wonder about this verse, and suddenly the thought came to my mind. And for a long time what I told myself regarding the money is that, okay, if God allows, then I can have my just regular decent house and a decent car, and anything other than that I will use for God. So that's what I told myself. So I remind myself about that thought, and when I had that kind of thought, it gave me a peace of mind, and I felt that I was okay with God. So one thing that's very beneficial if you're born again is that when you're born again, God cares for you, and then whatever, if you're not right with God, God lets you know, and He tries to correct you. So all this time God allowed me to have my house. It's a small house, and God allowed me to keep a car, and He didn't test me on those. So I had my peace with God. Of course, if God wants those taken away, then I have to give it up. But so far God is allowing me to have my house and my car. So if you think about it, that's all you need to live. Like you can have all kind of leisure activity, and you can go to vacation, and that's really all you need to live. So anything more than that, it can get excessive. So if you are like, oh, I want bigger house, bigger house, and I want a nice yacht, or I want a luxury car, and more cars and more things, then you become greedy. So if you become like that, you get attached to the money, and there is no end to the greed. So the Bible is warning about a greedy person. So if you care, and if you really go after that kind of money and more money, then you will find yourself living for money and not for God. And also, just like God tested Abraham, God might test you for the things most dear to you. So if you have more money, it will be harder to let go. So God might test you and say, oh, get rid of all your money and serve me and follow me and go here to serve me. So if you have more money, then it will be much harder to let go. Just like the rich person, when Jesus told him to share all your wealth with poor people and follow me. And that rich person went away with a sad face. So if you have more money, it's harder to let go. So you cannot have anything more dear to you than God. So And that's one thing really helped me to have peace of mind with God regarding money and wealth. So if God allows, I will just have my normal house and a normal car that I like. And anything other than that, I will use it for God. So if I do that, I have my peace with God. And so far, God is allowing me to have those things. And I think this might help you to overcome the love of money. And you really have to guard against the excessive greed, because that might hinder your love for God and serving God. I wish you blessings from the Lord.